Just out and just wonderful, the 1957 Chevrolet. There's fresh new design, plus new fuel injection engines that deliver up to 283 horsepower. Number one in the USA, the 1957 Chevrolet, at your Chevrolet dealers now.
Style, appearance, power. Yeah, but some of the most important changes have come in something else. Safety. Every year, more and more safety has been built into the cars we drive, and many of the driving risks we once considered unavoidable are now almost completely eliminated. Take the obvious features that increase safety by lessening driver fatigue. Easier stopping through improved brakes, both standard and power operated. Easier handling because of ball bearing and power steering. High-level ventilation. Automatic signals for stopping and turning. Automatic windshield washers, electric wipers, plus the improved vision of the windshield itself. Remember what the windshield was like just 20 years ago? Remember the strip down the middle, the blind spot in the corner? By 1949, the glass has started to curve. The area is widening. By 1953, the center divider strip has disappeared. By 1955, the corner post has begun to tip backwards to eliminate the blind spot. And today, almost 1,100 square inches of glass, safety plate glass. But there are other safety advances that are even more important. Safety features that are engineered into the very heart of a car. Built-in safety. In any driving situation, there are three things we can do. We can stop, we can steer around, or we can accelerate past the obstacle. The decision rests with us. The ability to do it rests with the car. Let's see first what's been done to cars in regard to stopping power. Four-wheel, self-energizing hydraulic brakes, which means that the forward momentum of the car actually helps apply braking action. Plus, rivetless bonded brake linings, 11-inch brake drums, and the modern anti-dive suspension system that brings the car to a smooth stop like this, instead of like this. But suppose stopping is impractical, and we have to steer around the obstacle ahead. How well that car steers depends, for one thing, on how well balanced it is. And what does an upside-down bottle have to do with the car's balance? Plenty. Watch. Didn't take much to knock it over, did it? But now look. We'll put it in this position. Same force exactly, but the bottle remains standing. Because its weight is concentrated down low, it has a lower center of gravity, a principle that applies equally to automobiles. And the steady effort of manufacturers to build cars closer and closer to the ground has not been for appearance's sake alone, but for safety. Lower the center of gravity. The result is that today's car can do things that would have stood Gwendolyn on her ear. But there's another factor in the balance of a car that means safety. It's called weight distribution. Pretend this box is an automobile. It is perfectly balanced because its weight is evenly distributed front and back. But suppose we put too much weight in the back. The weighted rear end swings out on the turn. Now, too much weight in the front end. Trouble again. The heavy front end tends to keep going straight. So let's put that weight right where it belongs, just a little behind dead center. A smooth, easy turn, because now it's correctly balanced. By the same principle, a modern car's weight is balanced just a little behind center. Balance. That means safety in steering. And here's something else. Remember what used to happen when you accidentally let your front wheel drift off the edge of the concrete? You were all over the road. But today, a world of difference due to modern wide-tread low-pressure tires, plus spherical joint front suspension that takes the turns and resists the roll. Plus, outrigger rear suspension with springs set wide apart to provide even more stability. Add to all this a kind of steering that is based on the principle that the most effortless motion we know is that of a rolling ball. Put that principle to work to create ball-bearing steering, and you have another safety item where your security depends on your steering. Our third alternative for meeting a driving situation is in accelerating. Under the hood of today's car is a tremendous reserve of power to meet just such situations as this. Power you may never actually need, but which is mighty good to have in case you ever do. Getting power to the rear wheels efficiently and effectively is another factor in acceleration. Remember how it used to be? If one wheel spun, the other one wouldn't turn. Today that's changed with a new safety feature now available, posit traction. When one wheel loses traction, power is instantly shifted over to the other wheel. Posit traction. More safety through more effective use of engine power. Yes, one of the most important changes in cars over the years has been in the building into them of greater and greater safety. Increased stopping power, increased stability, improved performance all around. But with all that's been done, there's one part of the car that no amount of engineering can do anything about. The man or woman whose hands are on the wheel and whose face is in the mirror. How much safety is built into him or her? How much courtesy will he bring to the road? How much consideration? How much care? How much attention? Yes, tremendous changes have been made in that car of yours. Changes that make it safer, more dependable, more responsive than ever before. And when as much has been done for the driver as has been done for the car, we'll all be in safer hands. How about you? How do you fit into this picture?
Happy birthday, dear mother. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hey!
There's one more present.
Really? Open it quick.
This one's from Dad.
Follow the ribbon through the door for the sweetest present you ever saw.
Follow the ribbon, Mommy.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, Bill, it's gorgeous.
And gorgeous is the right word for this Bel Air sports sedan. Spirited hardtop that heads the 1957 Chevrolet parade of 8 lively and lovely sport models. And when you look inside, well, the more you look at this new Chevy, the more you like it. Chevrolet interiors are definitely the finest in its field. And there's plenty of room in a Chevy, plenty of headroom, and the solid luxury of body by factor, found only on Chevrolet and higher-priced cars. Birthday or any day, a brand new Chevy is cause for a special kind of happiness. A happiness that will grow and grow as each new Chevrolet superiority is discovered and appreciated. Scores of Chevrolet improvements, like the handsome air vents built right into the headlight assembly. They scoop in as much as 22% more air. A great step forward in year-round ventilation and comfort. Or maybe you'd like a Corvette power team under your Chevrolet hood. Here's one man who took advantage of the exclusive Chevrolet option And by the way, he had his choice of 5 engines and 5 transmissions. The greatest power and performance choice in the entire automotive field. The same choice your Chevrolet dealer offers you. And once you get up close to a new Chevy, there seems to be no end to the wonders of this great car. So why not discover these things for yourself? They're as near as your nearest Chevrolet dealers. And we can promise you this, that just like this happy birthday lady, you too will find more to be proud of in a Chevy. The more you look, the more you like Chevrolet.
There's a new Jet Ace for the jet age we live in. It took fuel injection to make the jet engine possible. And now fuel injection opens a new age of automotive performance. Chevrolet's Jet Ace. Chevrolet's new and exclusive ramjet fuel injection. What is fuel injection? What does it do? How does it work? What are its advantages? What will fuel injection on the engine of your car mean to you in performance, economy, and all-around driving satisfaction? For part of the answer, let's go back to the early days of aviation and the even earlier days of the automobile, when there was only one basic type of gasoline engine. This simple engine was made possible by the invention of the carburetor to mix the fuel and air. Fuel fed to this nozzle is regulated by a valve. Air moving through this passage picks up the fuel and carries it into the engine cylinder. A throttle valve controls the amount of the mixture reaching the engine. Over half a century, engineering has gone to refinements and features to help the basic carburetor do a better job of delivering air and fuel to the engine. Today's carburetor is a triumph of engineering research and development with outstanding performance and economy. Even so, as more and more power and response have been packed into every cubic inch of the most modern engines, it has become more and more vital to control the fuel-air ratio to match the exact requirements of every driving condition and speed. Aircraft designers with a similar need for fuel control to get maximum performance and efficiency during takeoff, cruising, and landing solved the problem by adding another man to the crew. The flight engineer, with his gauges, valves, and switches, controls the fuel-air ratio to match every changing power requirement throughout the flight. And then came the jet engine, writing a new history of power plant development in the skies. The most powerful and at the same time simplest jet engine is the type called the ramjet. It resembles a piece of pipe, open at both ends. Air entering at the forward end mixes with burning fuel. The hot, expanding gases rush out the tail end of the pipe to create a tremendous driving force. For several reasons, it was not considered possible for a jet engine to make use of a carburetor-type fuel system. Even the largest carburetor would slow down the flow of air into the engine. Even the finest carburetor would not provide accurate enough control of fuel for all conditions. And finally, no carburetor could work properly against the pressures built up in the jet-type engine. On the other hand, fuel at high pressure can be sprayed directly into the engine. This system, called direct fuel injection, is used in all jet engines, whether they be the ramjet used in missiles, the turbojet engine used in most fighter aircraft, or the turboprop engine designed for the airliners of tomorrow. The fuel injection principle has been applied to the piston-type engine also. For many years, it has been successfully used in heavy-duty engines where brute force is a major requirement. Fuel injection has many advantages in economical operation during long, steady pulls. Fuel injection also helps the fastest racing cars set new records for sustained top speeds. But as the owner and driver of a passenger car, you want far more than brute force or sustained top speed. You want the instant engine response, the flexibility, the smoothness, and overall economy that are possible only with perfect control of your engine's fuel supply. One way to match these requirements would be to have a special set of instruments and controls on the instrument panel. Then, of course, you'd have to add a man to the crew of your car, a flight engineer, to read the instruments and handle the controls. For instant starting, even in severe weather, your engineer pumps in extra fuel for each cylinder and sets the controls for a slight increase in idling speed during warm-up. With your foot on the accelerator, you tell your engineer what you want. Of course, you, the driver, are in charge. For takeoff, or a sudden burst of passing power, he gives you the right amount of extra fuel in a hurry. For cruising at steady speed, he regulates the flow for smoothest engine running and economy. Whenever you are using your engine for a break, the economy-minded fuel engineer shuts off the fuel completely. This gives you quieter engine operation, and it cuts down on fumes that cause smog. Of course, when you're ready for power, it'll be there, because the engineer starts the flow again as soon as the engine approaches idling speed. With an accurate airflow indicator, the engineer knows exactly how much air the engine is using at any given instant. To regulate the fuel accordingly, he uses a precise fuel flow control. Why not connect the airflow indicator directly to the fuel flow control? We'd have an automatic system that would do the engineer's job a lot more efficiently. Automatic, precise control of fuel flow is the basic principle of Chevrolet's perfected fuel injection system. To illustrate, let's look at this diagram with the fuel meter section enlarged for the sake of clarity. An air meter measures the flow of air at the intake entrance. With every change in flow, a diaphragm expands or contracts accordingly. Movement of the diaphragm changes the adjustment of a very precise fuel control to send the required amount of fuel to the engine. And here is Chevrolet's ramjet fuel injection, a dynamic engineering advance made possible today by the basic design superiorities of Chevrolet's turbofire V8 engine. This compact, perfected mechanism reacts instantly and automatically to the fuel requirements of your engine, responds with speed and precision. It is supplied with fuel by the regular engine fuel pump. This is the fuel metering system. It delivers an accurately controlled flow of fuel from a special high-pressure pump to 8 separate fuel injection nozzles, one for each engine cylinder. On the other side of the engine, air flows straight from the air cleaner into the air meter and then branches out to a separate passage or ram pipe for each engine cylinder. The manifold is designed to produce a true ramjet effect because intake air is always in motion even when the inlet valve is closed. This builds up pressure to ram more air and fuel past the valve when it opens. The fuel nozzles, with no moving parts to get out of order, inject the fuel into the airstream as it enters the cylinder head intake port. Every design feature has been engineered to make the most of the basic and overall advantages of Chevrolet's turbofire engine characteristics. Ramjet fuel injection now gives you total command of the power and efficiency that are packed into this advanced V8 engine. Because fuel injection sends the right amount of fuel and the right amount of air into your engine for every condition, you'll get the quickest, surest starting you've ever seen. Your engine has all the air it needs, and you get the smoothest and quickest warm-up. Because fuel injection shuts down the flow when your engine doesn't need fuel, you get a new kind of quiet glide and even more economy. Whatever your driving interests may be, Chevrolet turbofire engine with new ramjet fuel injection offers you more. Because Chevrolet's fuel injection actually rams air and fuel into your engine when you need power, you get more response than you've ever felt, more of a safe feeling of command. Because ramjet fuel injection makes the most efficient engine even more efficient, you get greater overall fuel economy throughout every driving range. Like the captain of an airliner, you know that you are using every drop of fuel to the best advantage. Like the pilot of a jet, you know that absolute top performance will be there when you want it. As the driver of a new Chevrolet with turbofire V8 engine plus ramjet fuel injection responsive to your lightest touch, more than ever, you'll be in charge.
$275,000 in prizes, 57 big winners. In Chevrolet's Great Lucky Traveler Contest. To the 4 top winners, $25,000 in cash and a new 57 Chevrolet passenger car, any model at all, and 53 additional prizes of new Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door sedans, plus $500 in cash with each car. To enter this easy contest, visit your Chevrolet dealer now for your free entry blank. Name the 4 well-known vacation spots shown here and finish a simple jingle. There's no cost or obligation. Now, if you buy a new Chevy during our contest and become a winner, you may choose either the prize car or the equivalent in cash. Contest closes April 15th, so enter now at your Chevrolet dealer.
The 57 Chevrolet is here. Sweet, smooth, and sassy. This is Chevrolet's new Bel Air 2-door hardtop with a daring departure in design that shows the 57 version of America's most popular car as fleet and fresh. Note Chevrolet's brilliant new high-fashion fender design. Now meet the 57 Chevrolet's 210 hardtop with 4 doors. Notice Chevy's new, gently sloping hood, the flair and fashion of its new grille that accents Chevrolet's daring departure in style. See and drive this proud new Chevy at your Chevrolet dealer. It's number 1 in the USA, the 1957 Chevrolet.
I want to show you the mark of a modern truck.
Hey there. Watch your step. Look for these concealed safety steps in Chevrolet Task Force trucks. They stay clear of snow, mud, and ice.
That's just one of many modern Chevrolet truck features.
Looks like moving day, doesn't it? Actually, this family is just getting ready for a weekend trip. But where on earth do you suppose they'll pack all that luggage? Here's the answer. A new Chevrolet family-engineered station wagon. This beautiful Bel Air 4-door, 6-passenger model is just one of Chevy's 6 family-engineered station wagons for 1957. Wagons designed with the whole family in mind. Just look at the room for luggage, even with all the seats in use. With the back seat folded down, there's even more room, with a special family convenience for long trips or even the drive-in. Chevrolet's family-engineered station wagons are equally at home on the boulevard or in the backwoods. As a family cargo carrier, they laugh at loads up to half a ton. And when the job is done, they clean up in a jiffy. For 57, Chevrolet offers 6 big family-engineered station wagons, ranging from this thrifty 150 Handyman to this luxurious Bel Air Nomad. See and drive your Chevy wagon now at your authorized Chevrolet dealer.
There's a new word for smooth, and Chevy's got it.
Turbo Glide.
There's a new word for action, and Chevy's got it.
Turbo Glide. Turbo Glide, the first and only triple turbine transmission. Exclusive new extra cost option on the 57 Chevrolet. Turbo Glide's triple turbine response gives you smooth, immediate action. With Chevy's Turbo Glide, all you ever feel is
Wonderful.
you step on the gas and Turbine 1 starts you off instantaneously. As you accelerate, Turbine 2 goes to work so smoothly you never know it. Coming into cruising speed, Turbine 3 picks up the pace. Again, so smoothly you never notice a thing. TurboGlide needs no low. For all forward speeds, you simply stay in drive. No shifting. See your authorized Chevrolet dealer and drive TurboGlide. There may be other cars in Chevy's field, but they're not in Chevy's class. And one reason is TurboGlide, the first and only automatic drive with triple turbine.